Welcome to Found Footage Friday. So just an FYI, we're definitely not doing Stephen King Saturday. I'll let you know about the other days, but as of right now, for sure not that. But let's finish up the Hell House trilogy with Hell House LLC 3 Lake O Fire.
Lake of Fire.
Lake of Fire. So, I feel like this one starts out okay. I actually thought the acting in this one in the first half was actually pretty solid all together. And a lot of the acting issues that I had in the second one
Are absent.
are gone here.
Yeah.
I thought that the main girl was great. I thought that all the cast and all that stuff was good. I think the rich guy is fine. I think all that stuff is fine, right? Like the acting is fine. Once again, this is just trying to be too much. It's trying to set this big epic type of story, and I just don't feel like they're able to pull it off, right? Like other franchises have done it, right? The Paranormal Activity franchise obviously made the story much bigger.
Yeah.
But the thing that Paranormal Activity did that this franchise didn't do is it got very clever with how it's set up its scares and its story. And I feel like they're trying to connect things here, and we get the original cast and we get, cameos from a lot of people throughout the franchise. The girl from part 2, the main girl from that, she shows up here for a second. You got the main cast shows up at the end for a cameo, and I genuinely did not like the stuff with them alive, like ghosts, I guess, not alive, but ghosts at the end in the hotel, and they're trying to get out.
Yeah.
And he pushes on the door a couple times, and the guy's like, come on, man, leave it alone. We're just stuck here forever. I was like, you could try a little harder than that just to make sure.
Yeah, just a little harder.
But I don't know. It just tries to be too much and doesn't pull it off. It's not that I'm not into trying to do a big thing. It's just that I don't think that it's successful.
I think that I actually think this one is very redundant of the first. I feel like the setup is pretty similar with, taking the Abaddon and trying to turn it into some attraction for people. And the ending and what they do differently, I agree. I think that it doesn't fit correctly. It just there's something that's not clicking with it. In concept, them being trapped there, all of that.
Bean
agrees.
really wants to be in the videos these days.
I know, little baby. But I just think it doesn't work at the end. It just feels kind of tacked on. And I didn't like it, but it is a setup, obviously, for the fourth, film.
Oh, sure.
Right. Which, I mean, when you have a franchise, I guess that is something you're keeping in mind is how can we keep the story going? But I just think that it feels shoehorned, and it could have been a bit more organic. But I do think that the acting in this one is better than the second one. The second one is for sure the lowest of the three. But the big thing in this that bothers me the first time we saw it and this time, I cannot get past it, is the rich guy's freaking scar. It looks
terrible.
So bad.
Terrible.
There's a couple scenes where it's fine because the lighting is whatever on it, but there's so many scenes where it's bro, it looks like putty.
Yes.
Just stuck to his face. I'm somebody on set, even if you're rushing, even if you have a low budget, that's something that's just an attention to detail. You just need to blend it and make it fit more. I don't know why that wasn't fixed, because
low budget.
It looks, I know, but even with a low budget though, I don't feel like that's a good excuse. It just feels weird. I don't like that it's there, and it really was distracting to me a lot of the time. And
I feel like it's kind of symbolic for this film.
Sure.
It's not very good. It stands out like a sore thumb.
Because what's the point of him even having a scar?
So show that he was in an accident.
That's the only reason. It's just like he was
And
in
to
an
make
accident.
and to make him more like, because okay, and this is screwed up. We've talked about this in the past, but people who have like scars or deformities or stuff, horror movies love to label them as villainous.
Sure.
Right? And so
it's a misdirect.
He's supposed to, yeah, it's supposed to be a misdirect that he's like some Bond villain. I actually wrote that down, that he feels like a Bond villain. He's like a billionaire with like a scar across his face, like Blomfield from the Bond movies. He feels very Bond villain-esque. And in the end, he's the hero, right? So it's this subversion of expectations of like, you knew the scar guy was going to be a bad guy because he doesn't look normal, so he's got to be the villain.
I don't like it.
Which is, it's super lame, right? And unfortunately, we do it in too many movies. Because if people look different, they're not villainous.
No.
Right?
That's such an awful like message to spread. And obviously, yeah, horror is kind of notorious for doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's all kinds of films too that like portray gay people as evil.
Oh,
or like
sure.
Trans people as
cross-dressers
evil.
And trans people.
So I mean, and like those are from different times, and like I know there's context for different things, and I get it. But even in modern times, like with Insidious, like the woman in black,
sure,
right?
He's a guy.
And even that little kid is not a little kid; it's a little person.
But I mean, we can say this about so many things, right? Demonizing mental illness,
yes,
right? Like dementia in The Visit,
sure,
or just any kind of mental retardation with Jason Voorhees, or there's so many things that are taken where people are different.
Yeah.
So they're labeled as criminal or villainous. This is just horror, right? This is just movies in general. They take rare diseases or whatever, and they make them vilified.
Yeah.
Right? That is freaking malignant, right? Sure. Like anything. You gotta conjoin twin. It's gotta be evil.
It gotta be evil.
Right? Basket case, whatever.
Yeah.
It's always evil because it's different.
I mean, bottom line with this, though, is just that the scar looks awful, and I hate it.
100%.
I hate it. It should have just been taken off his face, in my opinion.
Here's a quarter. Go have a rat gnaw that thing off your face.
Dude.
Who can name that movie? I just rewatched it with my kids. Someone will get it. Someone will get it. Great movie. Anyways, okay, let's get to the film. All right. So we get confirmation here that this is the first movie is a movie in universe. Or at least the footage is available to the public, because the guy says like, I own that on DVD. Now that could be like a bootleg of the footage or whatever, or if this is an actual movie, like this House LLC as we know it exists in their world. I say yes.
Yeah.
From the way he says it, and this is nothing new to the found footage subgenre, right? In Grave Encounters 2, Grave Encounters 1 is a movie. In Blair Witch 2, Blair Witch 1 is a movie.
Yeah.
Right? And they address that, but then they find out it isn't a movie, right? That it is real, because they go to investigate the events from the film and find out, oh, it's not just a movie, right? So that's a pretty classic trope at this point. And I would assume most of the Paranormal Activity stuff is also footage that exists, but any found footage sequel should be that way, but it's just not released to the public as a film. That's what, I mean, the Blair Witch is 100% the film we saw.
Right.
Is the film in their world. Yes. Right? Same thing with Grave Encounters, because they even show clips from it that he's watching.
Yeah.
So now we don't get confirmation that it is 100% the LLC that we know.
Right, it could be
or if it's just like police evidence footage that was released online, or like it could just be the documentary that they make in 2.
Sure, that's kind of actually that would make more sense for it to be the documentary.
But he's like, I own it on DVD. I don't know. I just feel like the House LLC movie exists in this world.
Yeah, it does.
The way we see it.
Okay.
Because that's
the way you think.
The reason I say that is because it's not found footage in the sense of like it's recovered footage that you're watching like raw and kind of spliced where the interesting stuff happens. No, House LLC is set up like a documentary.
Yeah.
Right? There's interviews with people, and those are real people in that world.
Right.
So there's no reason that the House LLC movie we see shouldn't be able to be in their world put on TV.
Mm-hmm.
It makes all the sense in the world to me because of how it's presented.
Yeah.
It's very much presented like that's a film in that world.
Yeah. I agree. I think you're right.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Okay. I mean, as you said, the film is very redundant of the first, and that's on purpose. It's supposed to be like poetry. It rhymes, George Lucas style, where the first one and the last. This is something that they love to do in trilogies, where they cap it off with like a nod to the originals. Right, they bring back the characters and tie it up. This happens in countless third films that I've seen.
Yeah.
Where you don't really see much in the second film from the first movie, but then in the third movie, you see like everyone returns, everyone says their goodbye, right? Tons of franchises do this. So I don't know. But you're right. Like a lot of this franchise, the director of this really just has like a couple ideas when it comes to scares and just recycles them through 3 films.
Yeah.
Over and over and over. And I would say that this one is the least effective in its scares.
I agree. I didn't feel like anything was really that scary in this.
I can't even think of anything off the top of my head that's even like memorable.
New? Yeah.
That I'm not even new. That memorable. I'm like that sticks out in my head at all.
The only scene that I think of, and it's like not that.
I'm sure I wrote something down.
Well, it's with the clown in the basement when she goes down and she's like filming and whatever.
It's been done so many
much
times,
like,
and it's with the exact same clown in the exact same way.
Right.
It's
I know, that's what I mean.
He's this way, then they do this, then they look back and he's looking this way. They do it literally in every one of these films.
I know, that's why I'm like, it's not really memorable, but like the clown is one of the coolest things in Hell House, I would say.
The coolest for sure, but he's being like in the second film when he's trying to lure people outside and he's standing in front of the door. That's at least unique. That's different for him. This like heads this way, then they look at the camera and they come back and his head's turned. You've literally done it in every single film now.
Yeah.
And I'm mark my words. It's in the Abaddon tapes.
Oh, sure.
You will see it in the 4th film. Mark my words.
Yeah.
There's no way it's not in here.
If it isn't in there.
So, anyway.
Yeah, it's just it's not a very it's just redundant. That's what we've been saying.
Yeah.
At the sake of repeating ourselves for the sake
of
repeating ourselves.
Mm-hmm. And then you've got our main character. Is that Isabel? No. Somebody, Isabel. I wrote that down, but I don't remember who that is. I said, no way is that chick Isabel going into Sarah's room. Fuck.
Isabel, I thought was the one with the curly hair that goes down into the basement.
Yeah. The girl who would be cute if she had a much improved haircut and style. Her haircut does not flatter her at all. It's not even a haircut; it's her hairstyle because she like wears it back and it's curly and it's like muted red and like it's not flattering to her. And I think she's less attractive than she actually is. I think she's one of those girls. It's like you put the right haircut, you put the right style on them, and they just pop. And I was looking at her like that was like my hairdresser brain going, let me just take you for a minute. And let me bring you back a totally new woman. The scares feel repetitive. The main girl stays literally her whole reasoning is to prove the men wrong.
Yeah.
So that she doesn't look like the girl in her field who's too wimpy to do it. So she's got to prove the guys wrong and they laugh at her because she's a chick or whatever. Man,
That's awful.
That sucks. That sucks that she feels like she has to do that.
I think that's a believable reason why she would do it too.
She ends up surviving though.
Yeah.
Even though they die.
Like, that's the part that I feel like the ending is.
Like he sacrifices himself, which I don't even understand. I like that. I don't understand any of it. He's like following the hotel around after his near-death experience. That's why he's in the flash. Like they show the people from 2 and they show the people from 1. And Jeff, is that what his name is or something like that? Russell.
Yeah.
Russell, he like, I don't know why I said Jeff. Oh,
probably because we just watched Saw, yeah.
Because he shows up in the diner and he shows up wherever, like, and he saves everybody. So his aim was like he hung around there and then he sacrificed himself, but he ends up he doesn't go to hell. Like he just dies, but then the crew from Hell House also is dead. And where's all the other people who died there? Like we only see the original Hell House.
They should be in there as well.
Every one of them should.
They just didn't show up for that last scene, but I'm assuming that we'll maybe see them in 4.
But here's the thing that makes no sense to me. The girl who's in 2 and another guy who's in 2, they're both in this movie.
Yeah.
So
the other one should
got
be in there
these
too.
people.
Yeah.
Why not throw them in that scene?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because
I was even thinking about like the live streamers that go missing and stuff.
The girl who's in the basement, the one who was a hitchhiker.
Yeah.
You could have had everyone show up.
So like, because the people that have died in the house,
but I guess,
and are like demons.
Yeah.
He just saves their souls, but they're still trapped there, which is what's weird. Because you'd think if their souls were saved and they're not like evil, like
they could just go to heaven.
They could go to heaven, or they could leave. Go to heaven, obviously.
But we see the blonde from part 2 as like a ghost demon thing there.
Yeah, all of them are. Yeah, I know. I
don't know why the girl in the basement. So is everyone.
I don't know why they didn't have him in that scene.
They couldn't get him to come back, maybe?
But they have him in that film.
But why would it just be them? Why would it just be the Hell House crew? That makes no sense. I don't think
that's what's happening. I think that that's just like a film like restriction. I think that all the people that are there that died in the house
are there. They're going to be at the bar and hang out with them.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope.
I just think we didn't see that happening.
But if they didn't die in the house, they're not stuck there. Like the bodyguard who killed himself like a week or 2 later after he left.
He's just dead, I guess.
I
don't know. I don't know what happened to him.
So if you die outside of the house, you're not trapped.
But it's like the hotel is still influencing them.
So I don't.
Right?
Okay.
Like he's being influenced to kill himself because he's being like plagued.
How did all the people in this movie die and get resurrected?
But the people that died in this film, some of them did die in the house, didn't they?
Yes. All of them did.
Oh yeah, they did. They just all wake up like outside.
I mean, I don't know where they wake up.
Because she does, for sure.
I guess they wake up outside.
She's in the house. She's in like the attic.
Something. Right? I don't remember, but regardless, it doesn't matter. But they are alive.
Yeah.
And their wounds are gone. So I guess if you die within like 24 hours or something. I
have a window. I can make you alive.
Your bodies are still here. I can put you back in them.
Sure.
Right? The other bodies are decayed, gone, buried.
But they never
found them. So they are in the house.
I don't know.
But they're decayed.
I don't understand how that works.
I don't
know the rules of the resurrection.
Yeah.
But that's why I think it's lame too, because there's like so many questions that it brings up.
So another issue with this film is the believability, and not just of what we just talked about, because all that shit's super confusing. But like, so Isabel, maybe the girl that could be cute. This is probably the most bullshit scene in the entire film. So she goes down there, films the whole thing, right? They watch the footage and they see that the clown is moving, and they're like, are you sure it isn't them fucking with her and this and that? This is the most bullshit thing in the entire film. If not, it's actually the most bullshit thing in the entire trilogy. Because if they rewatch the footage, in that same video, the ghost of the entire Hell House crew is behind her.
I know.
Standing there in the bar.
Yeah.
She's filming herself. Now, you could say they only rewound to the scene where she said, oh, he moved, and that's all they watched.
Yeah.
But come on. You'd be checking that whole video.
Absolutely. And then you'd be like,
because you'd be like, wait, I want to make sure. I'm going to check to make sure if there's not more, because this video would be a big deal.
Yes.
And you would be rewinding all of it to see, like, what led up to this, and did you set this up? Because a lot of them are like, I think they're just playing pranks or whatever. You would 100% watch the whole video. But I guess you could say they just rewounded that part and that part alone. But if they were just to rewind one more minute, they would see every ghost of everyone who's dead in the house. Still. Like... The fact they didn't see that when they checked the footage is so asinine to me. I can't handle it.
They 100% would have seen that. And it would have been unexplainable. And
they would have all left.
And they would have been like, bye.
And there's no way she came back. There's no way after what happened to her in the base. But this is a problem with the whole franchise.
Yeah.
And this is something we talked about where it's like, unfortunately, these kinds of films do expect you. They ask of you to extend you have to completely do away with logic and stuff like that, because you have to put something in the film that keeps the audience engaged.
Right.
But I think there's a way to do it where it's not too over the top to where people are like, fuck it, I'm out. And I feel like this franchise does it too much.
Yeah.
It does things where I'm like, dude, no way.
Yeah.
No way. You got to tether them there somehow. You've got to make plausible deniability a factor, because I keep harping on this. When it comes to found footage films, you live and die by your realism.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to set up a real feel when it's something that no one can relate to, where every single person is like, I'd be out.
Right.
You lose the audience.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So, there you go.
It loses points.
I love, this scene with Russell is so silly to me, but I mean, this is just an eccentricity. Eccentricity. There you go. Eccentricity. Is that how you say that?
Eccentricity.
Yeah. He goes to this random little bar in the middle of a small town, and he's like, can I get a chateau, blah, 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 maybe in 1988 or 1990 if you have it. And the guy's like, I don't know about any of that, but we got this. And he just named some random thing, and he's like...
It's his wine.
What?
It's his wine that he names.
The
Win wine. He's like, we have your wine. And he's like, no, that stuff's overpriced.
Oh, that scene makes more sense. That makes more sense then. I mean, okay, that's funny. That's good. I like that then. I just thought he was trying to tell him like another expensive wine they had. And he was just like, oh, like, that's overpriced. And it's like, bro, you just tried to order probably a $500 glass of wine.
Yeah.
And now you're taking the house red, the freaking literal, like, bottom of the bottom shelf shit.
Yeah.
A guy who's trying to order, like, high-priced wine is going to settle on house red.
Yeah, no,
It would have been more believable to me if he said, like, just give me the most expensive thing you got. Or, like, let me see a wine menu, or never mind, or whatever. But just like, I'll take the cheapest wine you've got when he just tried to order the most expensive, and then says like, no, my wine's too expensive. That's funny.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. I didn't catch that, so good catch. But the house red, no fucking way.
Yeah, there's like an ongoing thing where they have too much of that wine, and they're like trying to get rid of it.
Oh yeah, he's like, I'll give you 10 boxes.
So I don't know. I don't know. But I definitely was like annoyed by his ordering, and then like he's like trying to order food, and the guy's like, the kitchen's closed, and he's like, can't you just make me something? And I'm like, no.
No, he's like, I can. No, he doesn't say that. The guy's like, we can whip something up for you, and he's like, no, that's fine. He's like, the kitchen closed like 30 minutes ago, but I could have them whip something up for you. And he's like, that's not necessary. You can just bring me some bread and wine. It's fine. But it's the submissiveness of like people taking rich people as more important.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess that is what probably bothered me about it, the scene. So I just like didn't understand.
It bothers me too. But the guy also is thinking about his tip.
Sure.
He's like, I want to be overly nice to the billionaire.
I get it.
Right?
Yeah.
So you'd be dumb to be rude.
I get it.
So yeah, you want to bend over backwards for the billionaire so he'll tip you. But let me tell you something. This is something all waiters know for the most part. Most rich people tip like shit. It's the middle class people that tip really well. It's the people who have worked your job that will tip you well or put in the work where they know what you're going through.
Yeah.
Rich people tip like shit. They'll actually tip less than people that make way less than them. So that, just so you know, there's a reason they're rich. There's a reason that the structure has been completely... No, don't get me into politics. Sorry. Anyway, what's the point of the camera crew? Like, why are they even called in? I don't understand this. What's the point of them?
They're just doing like
they're there to document it.
Yeah, because it's like,
but like he allows it. But why?
I don't know.
There's no reason for them to be there.
Then he's like, don't come opening night.
Yep. I don't get the point of them at all.
Like, you know that stuff's going to happen on opening night.
They're there to have an excuse for there to be footage. But, I mean, I get it from a writing standpoint, but I don't get it from a story standpoint. I don't understand their purpose.
I think that he does want them to document it so that, like, after the fact...
He can be seen as a hero.
It can be, like, shown... But, you know, like, they don't really get any of that. It's not like they get the ending. It's not like they get the, like, you know, their souls have been freed. They just get the, like, we're not dead anymore. Like, what happened?
I don't get the point of any of this. I don't understand why he puts on a show there when he's trying to save everyone's soul. Why get a whole bunch of people killed?
Yeah. Only to
on the chance that you might not be able to save them. Like, you're just getting more people killed.
He can't, like, get the spirits of the Abaddon out unless there's, like, a crowd, like a draw for them.
I mean, it only took like 3 or 4 people in part 2.
I know, but that's what I thought his reasoning was.
I call bullshit. To put a whole production together and some Faust thing, which of course they're trying to do, like some Phantom of the Paradise Faust thing. If you want to watch a really good movie that does Faust, that's like more stylized and fun, Phantom of the Paradise. Watch that instead. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's just, I think Faust is like that, like, go-to be like, oh, we're talking about good versus evil.
And selling your soul
God
to
and the devil.
Sure. I don't get it. And I mean, when those people show up for his show, he does come out and tell them, you're going to go to hell. Yeah. They got what they paid for, I guess. He gave them exactly what he said he would.
It's true.
I'll tell you this, man. The people, you know, when you're waiting in line for a ride or for a show or whatever, and then they let everyone in, and then they cut you off right there. They're like, "You stop," and you're like, one more thing. And I was looking at that, and in this instance, the people who are like got cut off were probably like, "I wanted to go inside," and then everything started going out, and they were like, I got lucky. I got lucky.
Probably.
I saw those people at the front of the line, and I was like, oh, man.
You guys don't even know.
But I guess all those people lived anyway.
Yeah, it wouldn't have mattered. I mean, they just...
But they could... I mean, they're traumatized.
No, they're not, though. They can't remember anything, really.
Is that what she says? But they had the footage. We saw it. It exists.
You're right. The footage exists.
So she's going to watch it and be like, what's this? I don't remember this.
What's this?
This must be CGI. Yeah, I find everything to be like anticlimactic with all the kills. All the kills are super lame,
Yeah.
just like throat slits. But this is just budgetary
Yeah.
issues. Um, there's a question in this towards the end where they're like, "Do you believe Russell almost died in a car accident?"
Oh yeah.
What is this question? I don't understand this question
I
at all.
don't know.
Obviously, he did.
Yeah,
What?
like there's evidence.
They're like, "Do you believe he almost died in a car accident?"
Maybe it was supposed to be said like, can you believe it? Like he almost died in a car crash.
No.
I don't know.
No.
I think it's a really weird line too. I didn't understand it.
So yeah, yeah. When they try to get out and they like barely, he's like kind of taps the door a couple times, and the guy's like, don't. It's okay. Like just give it up,
It's like he's not acting that crazy.
bro. I would have been taking everything in the house trying to get
But
out
that
of
is
there.
budgetary too, right? Like you
I
can't.
know.
Because it would, of course, it would be cool to
But-
see them try to leave and they can't leave and like all this stuff. But like everybody else except for Alex, like kind of just accepts that they're dead really fast. I feel like, and he of all people should be the one that's because like he was like partaking in this ritual, right? What did he get out of it? Nothing, just pain.
What is the Abaddon tapes, anyways? Because
I don't know.
it takes place after this. That's like the footage that we're seeing of the ghosts that get freed. That's the Abaddon tapes.
Maybe they have
That
a
wouldn't make any
camcorder.
He cleansed the house.
But they're still there.
They're still there, but they're not evil.
Yeah, but
That'd be
right.
like
I don't know.
making what Abaddon tapes.
It's just like,
part 4, Casper the Friendly
yeah,
Ghost.
it's like gonna be fun.
What?
They're gonna put
It's
on
gonna be like, we
another
have-
show. They're gonna be like, you want a haunted house with real ghosts?
We have a ghost.
Get ready.
It's gonna be like
No.
Frighteners.
Yeah, it's gonna be like Frighteners.
Whatever. So I don't get what the Abaddon tapes are. I don't understand what that's gonna be. I guess that's like the events between.
Maybe there's
2
some
and
other
3.
reason why they're trapped there. Like maybe the evil hasn't gone from here yet.
The evil is gone from here.
Maybe he like started to break the curse. He's like,
Phase
did.
1.
Yeah.
Who fucking knows? I'm sure it'll be convoluted and stupid.
We'll watch it.
We'll watch it, but
review
I'm
it.
not expecting anything. After 2 and 3, and the same
One
guy's
is
doing the next one.
definitely the best. One
Oh,
is the best.
not even-
One is really cool.
Not even close.
Great found footage. Works super well.
Could do without 2 and 3 altogether.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are not good sequels to us for sure.
No.
So we gave them another shot though.
We did.
I tried,
Yeah.
but I don't like them.
No, I don't either.
So that's that. House LLC has come to the conclusion until the Abaddon tapes, whenever that comes out, and we will of course talk about it and cover it when it comes out. So there you go for now. That'll give you enough Hell House to satiate you for now. I can't say anything more about it. Disappointing sequels. That's it. Those are my thoughts. Anything more?
No.
All right, guys. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Done and done.